Hi, I'm Rick Cuevas, and I just want to make a quick video to try to explain the home selling process, right? So there's a lot of mystery around this process. People don't know, and a lot of investors like to be secretive for whatever reason. I never understood that. We provide a really valuable service. My customers are extremely happy, and so I've got nothing to hide. And so here we go, right? So you see one of these signs, like "We Buy Houses," you see it on a billboard, you see it on even one of these small signs, one of the bandit signs, you find it on the web. What's going to happen, right? What does the process look like? You reach out to us, and we'll usually want a phone call, right? Or you'll give us information about the place. So we'll usually want a little bit more information than just like the house address. And some people try to be really short and be like, here's the address, how much are you going to give me? Well, we provide a little bit different service, especially I do, right? So I'm going to want to learn about your situation to try to come up with a solution for that. Why is that? Why can't you just give me the most cash possible for my house without looking at it or without any other information? And I just can't, right? Why? Because there's multiple solutions that I have, multiple financial tools that I have at my disposal. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes there's no equity. You know you've got a house and you owe pretty much what it's worth on it. A lot of times if you've only had a mortgage for 5 years or something like that, you barely paid down the principal at all, if any. And so if you're in that situation, then there's no room in equity for me to have a huge outlay of cash on it, right? So what we can work different scenarios out when you do that. And I'll have a separate video on what goes on in my head as far as what options I have to me as an investor when I'm making an offer to you. So we'll address that in a separate video. But for the most part, just know that I'm going to need as much information as possible so that I can come up with perhaps financing terms. Perhaps we can get you additional tax benefits for selling that house. So if you're making a large profit on this house, the government's going to want a huge cut of that, right? But if you can speak to you and maybe the payments can come over some number of months of terms, then we can potentially save you a ton on taxes, right? And I have references for plenty of people who have done that with us, and it just works out really well for everybody. We've done deals where we'll take the property, buy it from the seller, and then we'll go ahead and lease it right back to them for some number of months. I did this recently in a scenario where the seller, his wife had a terminal terminal disease, and so they needed just some additional time. They needed to get that money now, and so we were able to help them with that. We've had other people who we can assume the financing, the mortgage for them, and then we can take that mortgage and continue to make payments on it. And so that's really where our benefit comes in, because me as an investor, I don't have to go out and secure new financing on this property, right? Maybe we can use it if you've got good existing terms. So there's a whole wide range. And then those are mostly what I do. But then I've got a wide network of people throughout the entire country who have different ways of doing things, who can raise money different ways. We've got access to Wall Street money. We've got access to all kinds of financing, who want different scenarios based on what kind of property, where it's located, what the plan would be, whether our exit strategy of the property may be to sell it again. It may be to rent it out after we purchase it from you. It may be just a whole wide number of options that we've got as far as how we exit it. We could do short-term rentals. So a whole number of things that we might want to build it up and bring it into a different market, basically, as far as do upgrades and bring it up market. So there's a lot we can do. We can talk about all that. I don't have a problem telling you kind of what our options are and what you're planning to do with this property. We want to be as forthright as possible. So when you call us, that's why we'll want all that information. That's why I'll ask you a number of questions, and the more information you can get me, the better. The better the offer is going to be, the happier you're going to be, right? So we don't need this like standoffish relationship. I'm not going to take your information about your house and pester you with it. I'm going to give you the best offer that I can. And that's why I always win these deals, because I really do think outside the box. I can come up with really creative solutions to make sure that everybody gets what they're looking for out of a specific situation. Maybe you need a lot of cash because you're looking to retire, right? And you just want to be able to pay your next home off cash and not deal with fixing this one up. That's very common, the most common scenario probably. And that's something that I can help you out with. So give me the information, and then I'm going to go out and maybe I'll purchase it for myself. I'll purchase that property, or maybe I have a network of people who can purchase it, whether it be Wall Street, whether it be other investors locally, investors who like to work in the specific area that you're in, or like to work with the type of home that you are. Let's say you have student housing, that type of deal, something very specific. We'll work that out with them. All right. So that's a little bit about the background of what happens, just so you understand what we do with a property once we get it, how it can be profitable for us. Because you should understand that we're going to need to cut a profit on this of some sort. As much as we like to help people, but we need to feed children as well. And so that you can also have a good solution that you're happy with, that I can use you as a reference in the future, etc. All right. So I think that'll be it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye.